Hey guys, what is up? Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency video. If it's your first time to the channel, for daily news and information on the digital asset space, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about Volante and aka Volpay, which is Volante's Ripple connection. And again, this is an older document, but it still has some interesting graphics that I want to show you guys. But before that, let's just go over this really quick. So Hodor, at Hodor on Twitter, highly recommend you check him out. Probably one of the best bloggers in the XRP community, knows a lot what he's talking about. You can find him right on coil.com. And again, talks about everything. Very concise way to get your news and information. If you just want to go through what happened, recently in the past few weeks or past month, and just goes over it, in very easy to understand everyday language for any newcomers. So it's very nice to see. Links all the sources, very, very professional, talking about $100 million, in distribution for game developers to expand the XRP ecosystem. Additional Coil news, of course, Cinnamon as well, the new video hosting platform, similar to Vimeo, YouTube, different alternatives as well. So I have gotten early access and started uploading some videos there as well. And again, that'll be, open to the public more so if you're a Coil subscriber. And, help with web monetization. Different news with XRP. The XRP Ledger is a permissionless, decentralized network where everybody is welcome to run an XRP validator. I personally am very, very interested in running an XRP validator. As far as I know, there's no massive incentives besides, securing the network and just being another contributor to this space. And that's just something I would take pride in, in the future, especially if XRP grows to be as large as we foresee it. And I highly, I'm incredibly biased from, the years of research and just looking at the developments, and it is snowballing faster than ever. I would love to contribute to this ecosystem, and I really think that us as an XRP community are really onto something. And I know some of you say, oh, there's, 2,000 people, there's, however many people that are actually active and invested. Guys, we are so early. Like, this is unbelievable. XRP for sourcing liquidity is going to be helping this global liquidity crisis. The Working Money channel did a great video within maybe a week or two, and it was about the global liquidity crisis that I always refer to. So highly recommend you check that out. Great guy, always enjoy his content as well. And personally, I watch, a handful of XRP YouTubers throughout my day, whether I'm commuting, driving, or whatever, doing work around the house. And I'll literally just put the videos on 2x speed just to make sure that I'm not missing anything and to get things from, different perspectives, because everybody's authentic and brings something to the table that, we value. So, find someone you like and stick with it. And, take everything with a grain of salt. But I did want to, there's something at the very bottom in conclusion that Hodor left here. So right here, so believe in the use case. And this is all I just wanted to say right here out of this article instead of reading it. If you believe that the utility of a resource is more important than the speculation, then you should own XRP, period. The use case for a digital asset is far more important long-term than a white paper espousing the potential of a new network. XRP's ecosystem of applications, businesses, tools, and developers is massive and growing. And banks and remittance processors are beginning to use it more and more. And if you guys say, oh, well, look at XRP's price is 30 cents. Again, it was fractions of a penny. This space has no regulations. It is still growing. XRP is a decentralized ecosystem. Ripple is building on it for remittance. R3 is using it for core to settler as the first settlement mechanism. We have Coil with web monetization. We have different use cases like the XRPTipBot with Vite Vind. We have all kinds of things coming. We just, heard about another $100 million investment for gaming developers. We have different spring initiatives really pushing this, and I just don't see this in any other project. Now, I'm going to go over this in a little bit, but really XRP, I'm not saying it's going to be the coin that does it all, because that's not true. There's different fiats today. There's different use cases for everything. What I'm saying is that XRP is best positioned to be the global, international, bridge asset, medium of exchange for at least cross-border and anything like that, especially with developments like the Interledger protocol. All right, so I just want to explain that we are so early. I know this space is incredibly speculative to this day, but in my opinion, not financial advice by any means, do your own research, but I'm just saying, even if you're not a believer in this technology, maybe if you don't believe that you can 1000x your investment long term, it is not a bad idea to just throw some money at this investment. That is how I see it. You don't have to overinvest, so then you're watching every video and you get emotionally attached to pricing and you have a bad day if your investment drops. Because remember, you do not lose money. You do not lose unless you sell. So even on the days where, I just bought and I'm like, oh crap, I just bought there and I'm down, it doesn't matter because I'm not selling at that point. When I invest, it's a psychological game. I pretend I lost it forever and I have exit plans written out. And again, they're subject to change, based on off emotion, unfortunately. But, it's truly a game of patience, and it's not for everybody by any means. So if you're still looking into the space, continue doing research. Do not just invest because your buddy told you to. Do some research, but I would like to tell you, as some voice on the internet, that this is the most legitimate project and opportunity I've personally ever seen. And perhaps there's going to be some other altcoins, alternative coins besides Bitcoin, these smaller players that might skyrocket and go up. But again, right now we're still in a speculative market. I'm investing in the most solid project based off of utility. Granted, that might take longer, but I'm foreseeing much higher gains that are not only higher, take longer, but are sustainable. So I could actually hold my XRP for life, potentially. That's what I'm looking to do. All right. Next, and it's on Twitter. I don't even know how to say this, so I'm not going to butcher it, but I see him a lot on Twitter, so great content. So it's ECOSSE and then XRP1. And please let me know if you want me to pronounce your name correctly. I really appreciate it. But again, start of the privacy coin downfall, governments just won't allow them. Coinbase announces the removal of Zcash from its UK platform. And again, I know a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of bloggers, a lot of speculation on privacy coins going down. Nobody really knows. I personally do not invest in privacy coins. I'm all for decentralization. I'm all for privacy, don't get me wrong. But right now, from a speculative point of making money, I'm not gonna really risk it. And I might be wrong. You might be completely right, and you might make way more money than me, and that's fine. I'm willing to take that risk. I just want to, invest with what I know. And as Warren Buffett says, stay in my circle or zone of competence, and not pretend I know everything, because I absolutely don't. But let's just say I do a lot of reading and a lot of talking to smart people. Next, Kernel XRP at Kernel XRP. So this is just cool. I'm going to kind of paraphrase and read, some of it verbatim, but this is just a great reminder for everybody in the XRP community. Ripple and the company like to say there won't be one coin to rule them all. While that may be a fair point, since the entire world won't just use one coin or token for everything. Similar to today, we have multiple fiat currencies. But when it comes to trading the US dollar, when it comes to trade, the US dollar is preferred. And this is speculation, so too will XRP when it comes to trading. So the thing with an international bridge asset like XRP, a source for global liquidity, you can't have multiple coins going for this position because this thins out the liquidity. Absolutely. You're having all this competition, and you're really splintering the financial ecosystem, and I believe he says that below. So this is the reason all banking payment software providers have integrated the XRP Ledger with their systems. They all have to work together to create this level playing field, that common talking script we're seeing everywhere on the news, level playing field. It's just how the world operates. Work together for a smoother operation. Again, Ripple doesn't care who you are, nor do they have a choice. More users and use cases, the larger share of the pie for XRP. Exactly. So Swift and anyone else moving money across borders will source liquidity from XRP. If they want their own source of liquidity and don't want to use XRP as that medium of exchange, then they will have to create one. They will have to create one of their own and create an ecosystem for it to support its value and end up splintering the financial system. Well said. Now, this is one of the main reasons the IMF's SDR, their special drawing rights, is not being used as a global currency to replace the US dollar. It will be considered too centralized, and it doesn't have the ecosystem to support its value. It currently derives its value from a basket of currencies. As we can see here, the network topology, Ian Northing just says the ledger that will rule them all. We can see total nodes well over 1,000, and this was just on the 11th, so interesting to see that as well. So I really like that tweet. Really good reminder for all of us. So thank you, Kernel XRP. And then lastly, we're going to finish off with this. So I Am Legion just reminding us about this good tweet that was shared by XRP Nuts, and it's with 2 Z's. So let's check this out. And again, you can find him on Twitter at XRP Nuts, just normal spelling. And it's Volante or Volpe, and it's a Ripple partner. And we have some YouTube video sources as well and different articles. So just kind of want to go over this really quick. So as you can see here, Volpay cross-border payments, one solution for all of your cross-border payment clearing and settlement needs, from traditional SWIFT correspondent payments to alternative mechanisms. Connecting, we got Earthport and more. We already know Earthport and Visa's connection to Ripple. We got Ripple, we got SWIFT and SWIFT GPIs, and GPIs more so just the messaging standard, to cross-border clearing and settlement mechanisms worldwide. Next, develop a new omni-channel customer experience with a rich cross-border payment API library. We got tap into the power of cross-border processing based off DLT, talking about optimizing, lowering, the per transaction cost and strengthening cross-border payment margins, lower cost and risk with the fully compliant cross-border message libraries. All right, I'm just kind of speeding through this. Again, look, we got Zelle, we got tips, connect to domestic and real-time clearings worldwide, 24/7 real-time value-added services and experience, connect to a wide range of real-time clearing, and manage liquidity in real time, all in a single rapidly deployable end-to-end solution, on-premise or in the cloud. And then as we can see here on volantetech.com, Volpay supports Ripple, and I know this has been around for a while, for several years, but I still want to go into this, so I don't care if you guys are saying this is old news. This is relevant, because we're gonna see something like this evolve today as well. So Ripple, the combination of Volante and Ripple greatly simplifies banks' integration with Ripple distributed financial technologies. We view Volante as a critical partner for building Ripple's new real-time data-rich payments network. And again, this is Steve Mullenkamp at Ripple. All right, and as we go down a little lower, and again, let me actually just show you this little graphic. So we have Volante with the Ripple Connect, and again, so we have Bank A, which is the sender. We have Bank B, the receiver, and this is showing the connections and the integrations. So again, I'm going to kind of read this just because it's relevant. So we have a payment generation. So step 1, a payment from Bank A to Bank B is created in the payments application. Payments is routed to Volpay's Ripple plugin. Right? So it's connected to Volante's Ripple plugin, receives the payment from application, and according to business rule, initiates Ripple payment process. The Volante Ripple plugin also manages all the required API calls and payment messages transformation to the required format for Ripple. So we go actual payment generation. We have the Volante Ripple plugin. Next, right to Ripple Connect. Via the Ripple Cross currency interface, Ripple Connect, the Volante Ripple plugin manages the receipt and acceptance / maybe a rejection of fees and the foreign exchange rate quote. Fees and quote, here we go, payment sent, confirmation of payment settlement. Once the rates fees are approved, the Volante Ripple plugin initiates the Ripple payment process. Ripple confirms the payment to the beneficiary bank. And then again, through Ripple Connect, settlement is completed with the Ripple Ledger balances updated for both the sender and the receiver bank. Notification of the funds transferred to the beneficiary is confirmed back to Bank A. All right, and again, this new solution has been specifically designed to accelerate the process of integrating banks and corporates with Ripple. The combination of Volante and Ripple greatly simplifies the banks. I know I already said that. Blah, blah, blah. So just wanted to show you that. And again, I'm excited for Sibos this year of 2019. So exciting times for sure. And then let me see here if there's a few other screenshots that might be relevant. Volpay, suite of payments. Look, Volante to offer Volpay on Microsoft Azure cloud platform, delivering ready access to payments. Now this is payments, so it's not just, connecting different DLT functions with Azure. We're actually talking about payment capabilities while minimizing hardware and software costs. So these huge businesses are looking into this. So this should validate, the actual use case. But again, this is still highly speculative that Ripple's XRP or XRP is somehow involved. And again, when I say Ripple's XRP, I apologize. I'm just used to talking about it like years ago because XRP, we used to just call it Ripple. And again, remember, Ripple does not, own XRP. It's a decentralized native asset that was around before the company Ripple was there. But, I sometimes use those terms interchangeably. So for all of you trolls in the comments, grow up. All right. And then right here, Volante serves a growing client base of more than 85 FIs and corporate enterprises operating in 27 countries, including several of the largest global organizations. So we have huge groups. And again, you can look at this. But again, we've got Volpay suite of payments, tons of, plugins. So I just want to show you that. And again, we have all the sources. Below is the list of our partners. And of course, you can recognize, Microsoft right from the get-go. Swift, as we can see there. So again, this is a cool little thread. I just wanted to show you. It is always relevant. And of course, tips could be huge, as we always know. And XRP Villain was just sharing that. And again, I Am Legion, also, connects the dots with tips and, Task Group and then Xvia as well. There's a reason Katao and NTT is talking about global dominance. So interesting. So, and I know I've covered tips a lot in the past, but just something to think about, guys. Future is bright. I know this is highly speculative, but I still want to show you the connections that, Volante and Ripple have, and actually just how all the plugins work today. So we will see. And again, we are still waiting on regulatory clarity. I know you guys are sick of hearing that. In 2018, the buzzword was wait for institutions to come on board. But we seem to have forgotten that regulations are necessary before that can happen. And then institutions will come on board. So again, not a marathon. I mean, it is a marathon. It's not a race. And for those of you that are actually patient and see a future in this, you can hold without getting emotionally impatient and angry and lashing out. But unfortunately, a lot of other people can't. And that's why, being an investor is not for everybody. Whether it's $20 or $100,000 invested, to each their own. But, we'll see who will actually stick around because, to be honest, very few people stuck around and actually held Amazon that entire time. I'm talking a very, very few. So I think, using this reminder, making videos for each other, even just motivating each other when times get tough like this, it's a good reminder, and I think that we'll be thanking people like the Digital Asset Investor and other XRP YouTubers in the future if they motivated us to see this vision ahead of time and hold for long term for unbelievable gains, whereas a lot of people might just sell when XRP hits $3 to $4 again. So it really depends. It doesn't matter, what you do, because this is going to happen with or without you. Even if, all the subscribers I have sell their XRP, I don't think it'll make a difference in the future. I'm not worried. I'm just sharing this news because I'm going to be going over this regardless. And, I really appreciate the community. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel grow, guys. And I wouldn't be here without you. But again, I'd be making videos even if I only got 20 views a day. So it's good to see this growth in the bear market. And to me, I think I'm going to pay more attention to Google Trends because the future is absolutely bright for XRP, regardless of the storm that may lie ahead. So with that, guys, I will see you in the next video. Thanks.